This handgun right here is over 107 years old, and I'll tell you what, it runs better than most modern pistols coming straight out of the factory box. Today we're taking a hard look at 7 handguns that don't just last a single lifetime. They are built for multiple lifetimes. These are the kind of fighting tools that actually get better as they age. These are the guns your great-grandchildren are going to be fighting over in the will. And number 1, well, it's been in continuous production for over a century. It's survived 2 world wars. And old-school gunsmiths will confidently tell you it's the only handgun you'll ever really need. Do me a solid and hit that subscribe button right now and tap the notification bell. Because these 7 handguns are absolutely going to outlive all of us. Let's drop the hammer and begin. Number 7. The Ruger GP100. When Ruger introduced the GP100 back in 1985, they weren't aiming to completely reinvent the wheel gun. They actually set out to perfect it. This is not just another .357 Magnum revolver on the market. This is the revolver that essentially took every single complaint shooters had ever lodged about the platform and fixed it, once and for all. This thing is engineered and built like a bank vault. It was designed with a triple locking cylinder system, which is what makes it so incredibly robust. It came standard with those great cushioned rubber grips and a transfer bar safety system right out of the box. The GP100 will easily handle full power, .357 Magnum rounds all day long, without a single complaint or sign of fatigue. But here is the absolute genius part of the design. It will also shoot the milder .38 Special with the exact same reliability. That gives you a level of versatility that just never quits. The full underlug barrel adds a significant amount of weight up front, which really helps tame that famous .357 muzzle flip. The frame is completely overbuilt. Trust me, you are not going to stretch this frame. And that action? Even after 50,000 rounds, it's honestly just getting broken in. It's still smooth as glass. Seasoned gunsmiths will tell you. The GP100 is the one revolver they recommend when a customer asks them, what will actually last forever? Let's talk pricing. The standard 4-inch GP100 runs anywhere from $700 to $850 brand new. The specialized Match Champion models, which come with fiber optic sights, will fetch $900 to $1,100. Used examples in excellent condition average around $550 to $700. And they are worth every single penny. This is the revolver that simply refuses to wear out. It was built specifically for a lifetime of full power loads. Number 6. The Sig Sauer P226. When the U.S. military was conducting extensive testing back in the 1980s for what eventually became the M9 trials, one pistol actually outperformed the Beretta 92 in every measurable performance category. That pistol was the Sig P226. It only lost the contract on the final price point. The legendary Navy SEALs didn't care one bit about the price tag. They chose the P226 anyway and carried it for literal decades. This is not a stamped, budget-friendly design. Every single P226 starts its life as a solid block of high-grade steel and is then meticulously machined down. The slide rails are precisely milled, not stamped. The frame inserts are solid stainless steel. The barrel is cold hammer forged with that legendary Swiss-German precision. This is exactly what happens when true Swiss-German engineering meets American duty requirements. The decocking system is absolutely brilliant. It's a safe, positive way to drop the hammer, and it doesn't utilize any magazine disconnects that could potentially fail on you in a moment of need. The double-action first shot adds a critical layer of safety without compromising your speed on the follow-up shots. And that proprietary nitron finish? It doesn't just wear off. It's actually harder than chrome and more corrosion-resistant than just about anything else on the market today. After 100,000 rounds, a P226 is truly just getting broken in. Police agencies worldwide report these guns are still in frontline service after 30 years of abuse. That reputation rightfully earned it contracts with everyone from the Secret Service to elite military units across the globe. For pricing, a standard edition runs $900 to $1,100 new. The specialized Legion series with the upgraded triggers will easily fetch $1,200 to $1,400. Those early German-made examples often command $1,500 to $2,000 from collectors. Used examples in good condition average around $700 to $900. This is the handgun that was deemed too good for the military contract, but proved absolutely perfect for serious professional shooters. Number 5. The Glock 19. In 1988, Glock perfectly scaled down their revolutionary Model 17 platform. In doing so, they created what would rapidly become the most popular handgun in modern history. The Glock 19 isn't the oldest gun on this list by any means. It's certainly not the most refined, but it might just be the most absolutely indestructible. Here's the secret to why a Glock lasts forever. It's the sheer simplicity of the design. We're talking about just 34 parts. Total. There are no external safeties to break. No external hammers to wear out. No complicated DA/SA systems to malfunction. You point the gun, you press the trigger, and it goes bang. Every single time. And that Tennifer finish on the slide? It's harder than chrome plating and far more durable than anything else in this price range. The polymer frame actually flexes ever so slightly with each shot, absorbing stress that would eventually crack a traditional metal frame. The steel rails inside are completely replaceable if you could ever actually manage to wear them out, which most people simply cannot, and that famous cold hammer-forged barrel delivers accuracy that just doesn't degrade over time. Glocks have been intentionally frozen in ice, thoroughly buried in mud, fired immediately after being run over by military trucks, and they still absolutely work. Military and police agencies worldwide report these guns still in reliable service, with well over 200,000 plus rounds through them. No handgun in history has proven more absolutely reliable under a wider range of punishing conditions. Pricing. The current Gen 5 Glock 19 runs $550 to $650. The MOS models, with the crucial optics cuts, will fetch $650 to $750. And you can find earlier Gen 3 used examples all day long for $400 to $500, and they shoot just as reliably as the new ones. This is the handgun that redefined what the word reliable even means in the firearms world. It is built to outlast everything. Number 4. The Beretta 92. Since 1975, Beretta's 92 series has proven conclusively that elegance and genuine durability are not mutually exclusive features. When the U.S. military adopted it as the M9 in 1985, they didn't choose it simply because Beretta was the lowest bidder. They chose it because after brutal torture testing that literally destroyed its competitors, the 92 absolutely kept working. The open-top slide design isn't just distinctive, it is incredibly functional. Dirt and debris have a natural way of falling out instead of getting dangerously jammed in the action. The locking block system is absolutely brilliant. The barrel locks into the slide, not the frame, and this unique system distributes the immense stress across the entire assembly. And that chrome-lined barrel? It simply does not wear out. Period. The double-action and single-action trigger system adds enormous versatility. Your first shot is a deliberate double-action heavy pull. Your follow-ups are crisp, fast single-action. The frame-mounted safety, on most models, allows for that classic cocked and locked carry, or it acts as a very safe decocker. And that reversible magazine release? Ambi shooters have always absolutely loved it. After 50 years in continuous military service, the 92 has proven itself in every harsh environment, from desert sand to jungle mud. Italian police report these guns are still reliably serving after 40-plus years. And unlike polymer, these aluminum-framed 92s do not get brittle with age. For pricing, the standard 92 FS runs from $650 to $800 new. The M9 A3 tactical models will fetch $900 to $1,100, and those highly coveted early Italian-made examples in excellent condition can easily command $1,000 to $1,500. This is the handgun that finally proved open-top slides work perfectly. 50 years of military service? That speaks volumes of its durability. Number 3. The CZ75. In 1975, from behind the old Iron Curtain, Czechoslovakian engineers created what many seasoned experts still consider the finest combat pistol ever designed. The CZ75 took the very best ideas from Browning's famous high power, improved on them significantly, and created a pistol so incredibly good, it's been copied more than any other modern handgun in history. Here is the genius behind the design. The slide rides inside the frame rails, not outside. This dramatically lowers the bore axis, which cuts way down on perceived muzzle flip. The all-steel construction means it weighs about 35 ounces fully loaded. It just soaks up the recoil like a dry sponge. And those meticulously hand-fitted tolerances? They don't loosen with use. They actually get smoother. The CZ's internal frame rails are massive, far stronger than traditional external rails. The firing pin block is completely passive. It doesn't interfere at all with the beautiful trigger pull. And that DASA system? The first pull is a very manageable 10 pounds. The single action breaks clean and crisp at 4.5 pounds. Perfection. Competition shooters discovered the CZ-75 first, and then it was quickly adopted by Special Forces units worldwide. Czech police report these guns with 60-plus years in continuous service. And that accuracy? 2-inch groups at 25 yards aren't a matter of luck. They are completely standard for this pistol. For pricing, a standard CZ-75B runs $600 to $750. The Shadow 2 competition models? Those easily fetch $1,200 to $1,400. And the highly desirable pre-B vintage examples, with that glossy blue finish, command $800 to $1,200. This is the handgun the Czechs got absolutely right the very first time. 50 years later, it's still unmatched in many categories. Number 2. The Browning High Power. This was John Moses Browning's final ultimate pistol design. It was completed after he passed away in 1926, and then perfected by his protege, Dieudonné Saive. It quickly became the most widely issued military handgun in history, right outside the 1911. From 1935 until, literally, 2024, when it was finally retired by some forces, the high power served on every continent, in every environment, and through every conflict. It gave you a tactical advantage with 13 rounds when all of its competitors were still holding only 7. It had a thumb safety that actually works when you need it. That legendary Belgian fit and finish made every other military pistol of the era look completely unfinished. The camlock system Browning designed is absolutely brilliant. It's significantly simpler than the 1911 and far more reliable than anything that came before it. The hammer design allows for that classic cocked and locked carry, or a safe hammer-down configuration. And those famous Belgian proof marks? That's a rock-solid guarantee of quality that modern mass manufacturing just simply can't match. The British SAS carried them for 50 years. The Canadian military used them for 60-plus. Collectors fiercely fight over original Belgian-made examples because they know the pre-1970s high powers were built to a higher standard. They were built better, with standards that accountants eventually killed. For pricing, Belgian-made pre-1970 examples run $800 to $1,200. The Mk3 models fetch $1,000 to $1,500. Tangent sight variations will easily command $1,500 to $2,500. And the rare World War II era examples? Those can reach $2,000 to $4,000, or significantly more. This is the handgun that reliably armed free nations for 90 years. It was Browning's final and finest design. Number 1. The 1911. At the very top of the mountain sits the sidearm that has simply refused to die or fade away, the 1911. John Moses Browning's unmatched masterpiece was officially adopted by the U.S. Army in 1911. It honorably carried American troops through World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and Vietnam. More than a full century later, it remains one of the most respected and capable fighting pistols on the planet. The fundamental design is pure genius. All steel construction, built like a physical heirloom that is absolutely intended to outlast its first owner. The classic ergonomics fit the human hand as if Browning carved them by pure instinct. And the single-action trigger remains the uncompromising benchmark. Short, clean, and unmatched in feel by most modern competitors. The 1911 is not just a piece of history. It is a timeless piece of engineering. A properly built version from a reputable maker like Colt, Springfield Armory, or others is both a proven fighting weapon and a definitive legacy piece. Cared for correctly, it is a pistol that can easily serve multiple generations of shooters. Pros: phenomenal single-action trigger pull, slim, concealable profile for a large-bore handgun, and a level of mechanical accuracy that is genuinely baked into the design itself. Cons: standard capacity is limited to 7 to 8 rounds of 45 ACP, and it absolutely demands more careful maintenance and user knowledge than a simpler Glock-style striker pistol. Price: you can find very solid production models starting around $800. However, high-end or truly custom builds can easily climb into the thousands, and many experienced shooters will confidently argue that every single penny is worth the investment. 7. Legendary handguns. From the super tough Ruger that absolutely refuses to quit, to the iconic Colt that defined a century of warfare, these are not disposable plastic firearms. These are genuine pistols you proudly pass down through generations of your family. A lifetime handgun isn't measured by a simple round count. It's truly measured by decades and decades of reliable service. So, which of these incredible pistols do you currently carry on your hip? Which ones are you personally saving your money for? Drop your thoughts and your experiences in the comments down below. Hit that like button, make sure you subscribe, and tap the bell for more deep dives into firearms specifically built to last for generations. Remember, buy once, shoot forever. These 7 are absolutely built for it.